YouTube, what's going on? Well, we finally made it through to the first checkpoint in Nightmare on Act 1, and this was the speed build that I used right here. Essentially, I did several hours of trying to do this with legitimate decks, but it seems that for whatever reason, inside of Nightmare, it's a whole different beast of its own, and a lot of what you're going to need is a lot of mobility. You're going to need a lot of stamina, movement, speed, things of that nature, killing things and clearing things. No matter how many times we ran it and did really well, a lot of the builds worked out pretty well. Inside of it, it just seemed like the AI director just kept throwing things at us. It was non-stop. Every time we cleared, there was more coming. There was more random moments that would happen where just a horde, not even a sound for the horde, but a full-on horde would come out of nowhere, 6 special infected at a time. It just becomes almost too much at certain moments. So I had to do it this way. I did this in solos, but you can also build this deck out for campaign as well. But I will remind, must also state, if you get this done in solos, you can get that second or that first checkpoint inside of the campaign for online play as well. So say you have some buddies, they don't have all the time in the world, but you want to kind of get through Nightmare pretty easily and have a few cards to work with once it comes to pushing into Act 1. This is one way to do it by yourself. Now also, if you'd like to copy this deck and just paste it into yours and use it for your own, I'll have a list down in the description in order by name. We'll start off with Run Like Hell. We want that 15% move speed. We're going to be moving, constant, non-stop, trying to get through every portion of each of these little missions as quick as possible. Right after that, 20% stamina, 20% sprint efficiency, a little bit of health. The health isn't the biggest thing. It's about being able to move through the crowd and move through the special infected without getting caught up. That's going to be the number one thing. You're going to have to learn the strat. I'll have the video at the end, full gameplay of me going from start to finish with the first checkpoint. Now, I did end up getting to the second checkpoint. I'll make another video on that one, on how to progress from that checkpoint to the next one. Still need to get to the final of the act and finish it out to Act 2. That's another day. But right after that, we got energy drink, 40% stamina. Damage resistance, not going to worry about that. The damage is already so strong that even at that 5%, trust me, you're going to go down regardless of whether or not you have damage resistance. Right after that, 20% stamina regen, 3% to movement speed, a little more health. Then we're going into the sprinter efficiency. Now, essentially, these are the only cards you'll need when it comes to getting to the first checkpoint. But I started using this deck to continue on. Wasn't sure if I'd really be using this deck continuing on with the campaign or the first act, but it worked out pretty well. We were straight off with hyper focus, just getting a little bit of that weak spot damage, because once you reach that first checkpoint, it's a little bit easier. Now, when I say a little bit easier, trust me when I say it's marginally easier. It's still going to be a bit of a struggle, but you're going to come to points where you're going to still need the speed and mobility, but you're going to be able to clear a little bit, and there's going to be some moments where you have to clear a bit, and certain holdout moments that are going to work really well, but I'll show that video later. Right after that, padded suit, get a little bit of damage resistance, a little bit of health. Stamina efficiency is not going to affect us all that much. HELLFIRE right after that, 45% movement speed while firing, 5% movement speed while not firing. We're just gaining more of that mobility and keeping us from stopping or getting slowed down in certain moments. Even when we need to pepper a few things, maybe we ran out of stamina and need to blow off a few of the infected that are coming after us really quickly before we get a little bit of stamina back. Now, silver bullets, just 10% damage, 150 for that bullet pin for those moments when we get stopped. We don't have much stamina left. Got to turn around, clear a little bit, and then keep on moving. Shredder, we just want that added damage to this. Now, another one, depending on what you're playing, what your team's working with, whatever gun you'd like to use, shotgun could work, but essentially I made this for an SMG build. You could throw the assault rifle into this mix and be just as good, but this is one of those cards that you could take out, switch out for something else when it comes to whatever weapon you'd like to choose with this kind of build. Body armor, want that trauma resistance. Trauma is going to be a big issue. You're going to find healing stations here and there, but a lot of times even a healer's not going to be able to compete with how much trauma you're going to be taking. But if you're moving and you're moving through the crowd properly, you're not going to be taking a lot of trauma damage. That's why it's so far down the list. We don't want this straight off the bat, because essentially the whole builds, or the whole deck's built for us to move through crowds and avoid damage at all costs. Anything we can do to just keep them running in a circle and keep ahead of them so that we can just progress to the next safe room. Now, mag carrier right after that. SMG ammo is going to be a problem. If you don't have bots around, this is going to be one of those moments where you're going to need to ask other people for ammunition. But if you have just one bot, that bot will essentially be an ammo carrier of infinite ammo. He'll just keep dropping ammo every time you get low. So that's one of those things that keep in mind. Say you have 3 and you don't have a 4th. Sometimes not having a 4th could be extremely beneficial to the group, considering that one bot could just keep dropping ammo for everyone. Hydration pack right after that. Once we're getting closer to the end of the act, we want more health. It's going to get more hectic. Ammo capacity is not going to get hurt because we're already 30% up. Glass cannon, I'm still iffy on this card. I'm not sure if this is going to work out for this deck. I might want to trade this out for something later on, but this will possibly be something we need later on when it comes to just being able to clear out special infected at certain moments in those final missions of the act. And right after that, canned goods. I could arguably trade these two out, move this one up, or keep it as is, but we want that 40 health, and we've already got so much stamina by this point. Maybe you bought some from the store possibly, but sometimes you don't have enough between each of these runs. It could end up down to one person finally just making it to the safe room while the rest of you are dead for probably half of it. And this is only if they're able to make it all the way through. But I'll tell you right now, we made it to the first checkpoint. I made it to the second checkpoint as well. We just got to finish out the act, but we'll get straight into that gameplay now. If there's any cards in this that you possibly don't have, or maybe you're looking for them, don't know which supply line, leave a comment down below or head over to my Twitch. I'll have a link down in the description. Follow me up over there. I'm happy to answer any questions on that as well. And we will be progressing through Nightmare in the next coming days if you'd like to see that as well. Catch a few tips along the way. But tomorrow I'll also show how to get to the second checkpoint in Nightmare. I'll make another video on that. There's a few things you need to work around and a few tactics that are going to work really well for you. But I'll tell you right now, when it comes to Nightmare, there's a whole lot of luck involved. But in this video coming up, I'll kind of go step by step with it, do a little voiceover for the footage, and just show you how I made it from point A to point B, essentially, when it comes to making it to the first checkpoint within Nightmare. Alright guys, hope you enjoy the footage. Alright guys, this is going to be the start, the point A, or point A to point B when it comes to getting to the first checkpoint inside of Nightmare. I got lucky on this first time, like only armored zombies. Sometimes it may be based on just like constantly going into a run, seeing what the corruption cards are, and then pulling out if they're just overkill. Because sometimes there could be at least 4 cards up there, and it could be Hawk or Horde, could be Tall by Horde. But essentially all you need is a pipe bomb, pain pills, and you're going to want that stun gun. Now, I chose Evangelo for the simple reason that he's got stamina regen. I feel like stamina regen is going to be really useful more than just having maximum stamina, because there's going to be certain moments where you just run out, you're not going to have enough, and you're just going to need to have a small break, like we'll take right up here. This is where I always stop, turn around, kind of clear out some of the infected, because I know I'm going to have to spin that little wheel over there to release that bridge. So I make sure I give myself some breathing room. Sometimes there's some special infected, and as you'll notice, we've already got a hawker right there. Anything can happen right there. I've had moments where there's 4 tall boys right here. There's a snitch as well. I mean, it can get extremely problematic really quickly. And again, you got to look for those sleepers. They're going to be around every corner. You're going to start memorizing at a certain point where each one of these is. But at this point, we're just going to release the bridge and essentially just drop a pipe bomb as soon as we come down the steps. We're going to make sure that it kind of goes through the doorway in front of us. Sometimes it doesn't always, like that moment. You got a crusher on the left. Luckily, this door wasn't alarmed this time, so I was able to push through. Some of those moments, you feel like you got it. But once you get to this point right here, it should be a straightaway. Should be able to just sprint all the way in. But again, another one of those moments where stamina regen is really going to come in useful. We've already run out. We kind of need to move a bit more. We're getting slow at this point. We just want to see Hawker. I mean, sometimes it feels like the AI director is just playing with your mind at certain points. This doorway, I always shoot this before I even get close to it. And right there, you got all this behind you. I mean, it's going to be stressful. You're probably going to run this more than a few times. I ran this for probably 4 hours before I finally got this one run to get to the first checkpoint. Now, after that checkpoint, it's a little bit easier. Again, I got to say marginally easier, but it's a little bit more laid back in a way. The spawns are still hectic. The hordes are still hectic. The damage is still unruly, and the luck is still going to play a factor. But you'll have at least 6 cards by this point in play, so you'll feel a bit better. You'll have some damage. You'll have the mobility that you want, and you'll be able to work around these kind of most of the corruption cards and everything that's going to be thrown at you. Now again, we're just getting another pipe bomb. We're getting a little bit of health back and getting that stun gun. Big thing about Evangelo is he can break out. There may come moments where stun gun's not enough. Stun gun is going to be the quickest, but the breakout could save your life sometimes. Now, if you're already low on health, the breakout's not even going to help, and I'll tell you right now, it's going to be a failed run pretty quickly. Another one of those moments, keep an eye on those sleepers. They're going to be along the right wall as well. You'll notice sometimes there'll be 2 sitting right there. I got a bit lucky on this run. Now, we don't even have fog on this map. This is a corruption card that literally eats at your health the longer you're in the mission. So it's already a speed run to begin with. So if you're trying to take your time on this one, I mean, you could have gone through the first mission, come to this one, and you still have 2 more missions before you get another checkpoint. You can't even rerun from this point with different corruption cards. So you can already see how speed running in this is pretty much looking like the only way to get to this first checkpoint. Now, in this moment right here, you can take a little bit of a break. Sometimes one of the bots is dead before, say you got a really harsh corruption cards where there's a lot of crushers, other things. You may see your whole team wiped before even making it to this doorway. At that point, it's really going to be one of those, let me just push on through. But once you get to this section right here, you can kind of take it a little bit slower, but don't take it too slow because they're going to start throwing things at you. There's going to be the amount of times I've died in this hallway from just sticking around a little too long. I mean, several hordes may come from front and back. Sometimes there's a healing station here. Not always, but sometimes. Might be one of those moments, say you've taken a little bit of trauma before. Keep a reminder of that one little portion right there. But you essentially want to clear out some of the special infected in here. You don't want to leave the bots behind just yet. They're going to be useful for kind of moving through this little alleyway. Like one of those moments, that could have been your health being taken off instead of the bots. Or that could have been a failed run right there. Say all the bots are already dead. All you would have is that stun and just keep moving. Keep an eye on that left side. Sometimes there's a sleeper over there. I've gotten caught by it several times. It's really frustrating. But you'll just continue to clear on through here, saving that pipe bomb. If there is a horde or you hit an alarm door through here, I would say you're probably going to need to throw that pipe bomb. It's not a must-have coming up, but it is very helpful to have it coming up soon. Another thing to notice, sleepers. They're everywhere. I cannot stress this enough. The amount of times I've been stopped by a sleeper and it has stopped me from this run. It's unbelievable. Again, another one of those clearing motions. Now we're about to come up to the point where it's just the straightaway. We're going to have to run, keep on moving as fast as you can. We're going to hug the left wall and this whole... Even watching it's getting me stressed out, trust me. Goodness. I was so happy to be done with this run and make it to that first checkpoint, because I'll tell you right now, I've had a lot more fun moving through the rest of this act and through all the unlucky nature of it and just absolute ruthlessness. But you can see, hugging that left wall, going straight through. Sometimes there's a bigger crowd right there. You may have to punch through them, more than a few of them. But you'll jump from this point, start shooting that door before you even get down there. Sometimes it's alarmed. It could call a horde. But I'll tell you right now, I just... Yeah. It frustrates me. Got saved. Oh, sleeper almost got me right there. Another sleeper sitting right there. Most of the time, there's going to be two of them right there. You're going to be breathing after this. I mean, your blood's pumping through this type of run, all right? Where we've just got the blinders on. We're like that horse in a race. We're going straight, start to finish, all right? Nothing's going to, you know, you just got to keep going, all right? My heart rate's escalated just watching this. Goodness, but this is the hardest portion for me. There's a swamp area inside of this mission that really slows you down, even if you still have sprint available. It is, oh God, it is an absolute nightmare. Even worse when you got snitches, but this is particularly an ideal corruption card set. I mean, you'll look at it and think to yourself, that's a nightmare, but welcome to nightmare. That's how the rest of this is going to go, and the further you get in, the more those corruption cards are going to fill out, and they're going to be stronger and stronger as it goes on. You're going to hate it. At this point, I was still kind of choosing things, but the set order that I did with this run, I've already set it up inside of the deck previously, so every one of the cards should be in direct order of how I use them within this run, and I did a lot of trial and error with this, and it worked out pretty well. Again, pipe bomb, pain pills, stun gun. Just keep that in mind. And from this point, I mean, we're pretty much not going to stop on this one. There is no smelling the daisies with this mission. We got to get in and get out quick. You see that crusher? Move right on past him. Somebody's getting crushed. Walker's having a bad day. Keep on going, all right? And we're about to hit that swamp area. Every time, throw the pipe bomb, either by the time you run out of stamina or somewhere around it. The flame zombies don't make this any more helpful. You know, get a little bit of stamina back, but just keep on trucking through here. Do what you can to avoid some of the zombies because they're going to slow you down. You saw the bird pile over there. Sometimes there's a hawker waiting for you right there as well. Even more of a nightmare. I mean, this run right here was, I barely made it. I'll tell you right now. Another one of those moments. Now, around this corner, it's going to be another sleeper. Gotten me several times before. I hate it. I hate this one little section right here. I got stuck on this one section more than anything. I never even did the next mission more than once. I mean, this is the only time I've passed this mission right here, and the next mission, as far as I'm concerned, was a whole lot easier, and it was very easy straight away. Somehow just made it. Didn't have as hectic a time as right here, but essentially we're going to do a loop right here. You're going to do what you can to keep circling back. Forget about Walker. No point. You see, I don't notice too many zombies just on me just yet, but then I notice, Holly's pulling quite a bit. We're going to try and work our way around them. Do what we can to kind of ride the edge. Keep far away from the crusher. I tried to turn around and hit that, but the aim assist pulled me straight back onto a zombie. I was going to flame that up. So this is one of those moments where I'm like, okay, maybe I can jump over. Nope. Hate life. Sleeper coming off on the right. Got another zombie just waiting for us up here. We're going to take a little bit of fall damage right here, but that's not going to be too bad. Turn around. Get a little bit of them. Health still maintaining pretty strong right here, but we're going to try and do our best to kind of make a loop around again, get some of that health back to ensure that we can just make it through. And you'll notice, finally, it's actually done. We can jump straight over that. We've avoided everything in this area. Straight through that window now. Yeah, almost got hit by a sleeper. I mean, my heart is racing by this point. If we push off to the left, we want to go along these pipes, just keep punching through. Look at me, I'm taking a lot of damage right now. We're going to take even more damage. I'm just trying to punch my... I mean, look at that. I'm at 14. I'm at 4 health. I've barely gotten any stamina. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die. Barely made that. I'll tell you right now, I probably should have been shooting in front of me. Make that note. Clear out some of those zombies because that could have been a failed run really quickly. I almost did not make that. That would have been the end right there, and that would have been another restart where I had to loop back around in that whole area, or at that point, the next run I wouldn't have made it. Then it'd start all the way back at the very beginning again. And as you can see, corruption cards are still increasing. We got stalkers that are ferocious wretches, armored bruisers. It continues to get worse. But I'll tell you right now, this mission, a lot easier. It's almost like the first mission in a way. A little bit of extra tactics, but you can see I'm already at 4 health, but the bots will heal me. Now you could do this with a full group, could be easier, not exactly sure about that, but there are certain moments where if everybody's running, at least when you yourself get caught up by something, there is someone else that can actually push on and not worry about you getting downed, and that being the end of the mission without the help from bots. Real players are always going to end up helping. We're just going to move along this left little pipe area, blow it up immediately, get that thing down and out, and just push on through. Avoid all the zombies that you can, move around them. Alright, we're like water. We're going around every edge of this creek, zombies ridden, and just going to go straight in. It seems, I think because you're so fast with this mobility by this point, I mean, look at the stamina right there, unreal. We've got plenty to go on. But you'll just straight in. All the zombies are pretty much spawning. They may be lag spawning in a way, like the AI doesn't realize you're so far ahead because you're speeding along so far that it's just now getting everything to come in. As you can see, we start to see some down below that are spotted by the bots. And now you just got to plant the bomb. I thought this was going to be a lot harder. You also want to set this up right up on top. Clear out some of the special infected pretty quickly, and you'll notice right here, I mean, we're on the minigun, but this takes quite a bit of ammo just to take down 2 of these bruisers. Now this could be due to the fact that it doesn't have the best accuracy, but at the same point you can start seeing how strong a lot of these bruisers and special infected are going to be. That's why damage really isn't going to be the best option for you, because it's going to take all 4 team members to take down essentially any one of these special infected. Now, I had to bring all the team back and wait for the bomb to spawn. Finally dropped out. We're ready to go. Now, this is one of those moments where Evangelo really comes in handy because he's got that breakout. We do not have a stun gun at this point, so if anything, Sleeper, Stalker, Hawker, we've got nothing to stun that off. We've got to do it all based on the breakout. But let it clear out a little bit. You know, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, all right, let's just go. Just get down to the bottom of that ship. Bots are going to take care of things. They're just going to, you know, catch everything that's on my tail, move through. Didn't have any alarm doors, luckily. This may be different for different runs. This is my only run on this one. I got this one and done. Feel like you should be able to get it done the same, but when it comes to the RNG in this, another one of these moments, do not get stopped by these windows. I thought you could jump through them. Looks pretty clearly available that I could jump through it, but the bots will keep you protected for this moment being. If I didn't have one other person with me, like Mom right there, this would have been a real problematic experience. I probably would have gotten close to death, if not died right there planning it. But one of those moments, try to take a different route going back, considering you're trying to loop these zombies to keep them at the tail end of you, but boom, we're here. Sweet relief.
7 hours.
Oh,
We finally got it completed.
I say 7 hours, but essentially that's combining the efforts of using legitimate decks and not the speed cheese run deck. But it took about 4 hours of just running this specific type of deck just to get to this point. This is 48 minutes into the first stream, or the second day of streaming, trying to get through Nightmare, and that's sweet relief. Oh my god, you don't understand how good that feels right there to just make it this far. And tomorrow we'll have the video on how to make it through to the next checkpoint after that. There are some hectic moments. We got the jukebox, we got the diner area where you got to hold out for 5 minutes. There's a way to cheese that. I got extremely lucky, but I'll let you know what you need to do in order to maintain the ability to keep this one section of it clear and just hold out and bunker down. Keep all the ammo around you. You're pretty much going to need at least one bot, but that's going to be it right there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope this helped you out in some of the Nightmare runs that you're possibly going to be taking on in the future. This deck seems to be the one that's going to be the best bet when it comes to Act 1. Now, I've looked at other videos of other people doing the rest of the acts, and it seems like mobility is going to be a strong thing, but there's going to be a lot of situational cards that'll go between each checkpoint. There's going to be things that you need for different sections of each part of the campaign. It's going to be a lot of trial and error, but I'll keep you updated. I'll keep pumping out the videos to make sure that you've got all the available information you'll need in order to push through this. And guys, hope you enjoyed this one, and have a good one.